Well, how do there, chums? It is I, Captain of the Steves, and today, chums, for you guys out there, inside of the viewerverse, I am doing some Sean Murray watch. We're going to be jumping over to the Twitter and taking a look at what he's been tweeting today. Well, recently. Here we go. Executor Monday. Boom! Well, here we are on the Twitterverse and Sean Murray's Twitter page. Let's scroll on down, and here we are. We have the saga that is unfolding between Winder's son and Sean Murray, which is still going and escalating rather rapidly. You can now call in the Nexus, which is now Sean Murray's face, and you can actually venture through his mouth into the Nexus, and inside of the Nexus, look at that, you're flanked by Sean Murray heads as you fly on in, and they're kind of sinisterly lit up. This should be a Halloween thing. What Winder has actually done here, or Winder, whatever his name is, whatever he's managed to do here just goes to show that they could quite Halloween this place up in rather a creepy fashion. I mean, this is creepy as freaking heck. Look, it even changed EXO into Sean Murray's head, and the NPCs all into Sean Murray. No, nada, oh my days. And Polo, oh, this is mental. And look at this. What the fudge? Oh my days, it almost looks like one of those guys from Outer Cyberpunk, doesn't it? With all of his face missing. And even the sandworms. They've Sean Murray'd the sandworms. I must say that the Nexus and what they've done in the Nexus is just freaking hilarious. Now, Sean Murray has also tweeted out some artwork of a down sort of freighter, which is kind of cool. But scrolling down, there's even more awesome stuff. I mean, yes, you've got this saga unfolding between Winder, and Winder is putting out these sort of Murray heads on a daily basis. I dread to think what it's going to look like if it goes on much longer. The whole freaking verse is just going to be Murrayed. Scrolling down though, you come across this. Another chap called Sean, also goes by the name of Wayfire, has done these concept pictures of sentinelized sort of faunery type robot things, or even base droids. I love the base droids idea. So in keeping as well. I love your art style and how you've brought this into the verse. These sentinelized drone type ships are freaking ace. And yes, I know they're drone ships. I will get to how I know in a bit. Take a look at that. It looks like it's actually picking up the storm crystals and using them as weapons. Freaking great ideas. I'm loving all of these conceptual arts. They're amazing. I mean, look at this one. That is so freaking cool. Imagine that thing just popping out the ground and coming at you. Freaking mentals. I love it. The concept behind each and every one of these is so in keeping with their No Man's Sky art style. I actually thought they were a thing when I first saw these. And I saw these going back a few months ago. And I actually approached Wayfire and asked if I could use these images in a video of mine for sentinelized ideas. Even that one's really cool though. I mean, that's like an exotic planet fauna, which is really nice. But if you click on Sean and go over to his actual Twitter page, let's click it again, for some reason it didn't take me to his actual page. There we go. Now I'm on his page. There is a link to his art studio. So if you click there, that's going to take you to this art sort of website where all of his art is hosted. Now there's quite a lot on here, but to find the actual robots and all the sort of No Man's Sky type stuff, scroll down till you see this icon down on the bottom row, and there we go, March of the Robots 2020. So clicking upon that, you're going to get a lot more from Sean Cruz, also known as Wayfire over on Twitter. You're going to scroll on down and let's have a better look at some of these sort of concept arts. So some of these we've seen already, and then others we haven't. So look at these. There's some awesome stuff here. A sentinelized sub, which is a pretty cool idea. I love some of these. Some of these are amazing. There you go, look at those. So they're actually Korvax base mechs. Love that. That's so cool. And there we go. There's the drone ships over there to the left, people. And Beeble has actually built one of those sentinelized sort of worms on my NMS hub. That's actually been built by Beeble. So I put a card to Beeble's base build of a sentinelized worm based on that concept art. So these have been about in the verse for a little while, chums. And some of them are just sublimely awesome when it comes to conceptual ideas, and I really do hope Hello Games picks up this and runs with it and brings us a lot more sentinelized robots into the verse. I mean, yeah, I did an actual video of my own, chums, and I actually made up mock-ups of my own, so I made those little sentinels there. I put a link to my video on sentinel combat and what I'd like to see when it comes to sentinels in the future in the top right corner. And I have built my own sentinelized sort of looking bases. So this is a sentinelized sort of scorpion that I built the other day. And yeah, so I often build sentinelized sort of mechanical robots that I would love to see brought to life inside of the verse to accompany the Sentinels. I mean, how cool would that be to land on a planet and come across one of those? If you want to visit and build bases here, by all means please do. That'd be freaking ace, heck yes. So this is in Euclid and it's in normal mode that I built this. But there is a video out by Zane's World right now that says that a lot of these builds are crossing over, and I have noticed a bit of squiffiness being added into the network settings the other day. They got rather limited for me. But anyhow, yeah, to check out Zane's video on server sort of squiffiness and how the bases all seem to be merging at the moment. So that's another sign that something could be afoot. Now, something else I do after checking Sean Murray's page is I check the Procedural Traveller's page, because the Procedural Traveller is always the first to get news. And he says there that the depots have been updated and now there's a sale on all major platforms, which is freaking mental. So yeah, it's already on Steam and it's already on GOG as we know. But now, over on PlayStation, when I did a search, it looked like it was full price still. But then I clicked the link just to double check, because the Procedural Traveller's never wrong, and I scroll on down and there we go, $19.99, and the offer ends around the 15th of the 9th. Okay, so the 15th on PlayStation, and on Steam it's ending on the 13th. Now, I sort of speculated that the update would drop around the 14th, but looking at the Steam sale ending on the 13th, I think they're going to try and get the actual update out before it ends on sale, chums. So yeah, I think it's going to be sooner than the 14th. Although that I said it with the earliest date would be the 14th, I actually now think the 14th may be the latest it might drop. I know, freaking mind-blowing stuff. The update is around the corner. Yeah, I'm talking within, like, you know, a couple of working days, chums. It's going to be with us. Heck yes. At least that's what I think. That's what I'm speculating, chums, based on all of these signs. Love to hear your thoughts. Put them in the comments. Lovely job. See you next time. Goodbye, goodbye, and goodbye again. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see, please hit a like and a subscribe, and I'd like to say a massive great big thank you to all of my backers over on Patreon and over on YouTube membership. Thanking you, backers! And if you want to support this channel, just don't skip the adverts. That throws revenue down my avenue. Or yeah, just stay with Captain Steve that little bit longer and hit something on this screen. There's merch here now too.